The biting December wind sliced through Evelyn's thin cream-colored dress as she sat huddled at the bus stop, her worn backpack resting beside her. At 24, the streets had already aged her. Months of hardship had left her looking older, fragile, and weathered after losing everything. Her blonde hair hung limp, and her bare feet had gone numb against the frozen pavement. She had sold her last pair of shoes for food. Snow fell softly now, blurring the evening lights into gentle halos of gold and red. Evelyn drew her knees close to her chest, trying to hold on to whatever warmth she could find. The bus shelter offered little protection. She watched strangers hurry past, bundled in thick coats, rushing toward warm homes she could only imagine through the swirling snow. A small figure appeared. A little girl, no more than 4, walked with careful steps, her burgundy coat buttoned over a grey-knitted cap. In her mittened hands she carried a paper bag. The child stopped directly in front of Evelyn and studied her with solemn brown eyes. "Are you cold?" the girl asked, her voice clear in the winter stillness. Evelyn tried to smile. "A little, sweetheart, but I'm okay." The girl looked down at Evelyn's bare feet, then back at her face. Without a word, she held out the paper bag. "This is for you." Evelyn's throat tightened. "Oh, honey, I can't take your food. It's okay," the girl said simply. "Daddy bought me cookies." "But you look hungry." Behind them, a man in a dark coat stood watching, snow gathering on his shoulders. He made no move to call the child back. Evelyn accepted the bag with shaking hands. Inside were fresh cookies from a nearby bakery, still warm. The sweet aroma alone brought tears to her eyes. "Thank you," she whispered. The little girl tilted her head, considering Evelyn with a wisdom beyond her years. Then she said something that would change everything. "You need a home," she said softly, "and I need a mommy." The words hung in the snowy air between them. Evelyn looked at the child, stunned. "What's your name, sweetheart?" "Nora," the girl answered. "My mommy went to heaven. Daddy says she's an angel now." "Are you an angel?" "No, baby. I'm just someone who made some mistakes." Nora reached out and touched Evelyn's cheek with surprising gentleness. "Daddy says everyone makes mistakes." "That's why we need love." The man finally approached. He looked to be around 40, with kind eyes that held deep sadness. He knelt beside his daughter. "I'm sorry," he said to Evelyn. "Nora has a way of finding people who need help." "I'm Simon Hale." Evelyn started to apologize, to explain she didn't want to bother them. But Simon held up a hand. "My daughter's right," he said quietly. "You need shelter, and we have an extra room. My wife passed away, and the house feels too empty now." He paused. "I'm not making promises beyond tonight, but no one should be out here in this cold. If you'd like a warm meal and a safe place to sleep, the other stands." Evelyn had learned to be wary. The streets had taught her hard lessons about trust. Yet something in Simon's eyes and in Nora's innocent faith felt genuine. "I don't want charity," she managed. "It's not charity," Simon said. "It's humanity. Someone helped me once when I needed it. I'm just passing it forward." Nora took Evelyn's hand. "Please come home with us. Christmas is coming, and Santa brings presents to people who have homes." Evelyn looked at this little girl in her grey-knitted cap, offering unconditional acceptance, and at this father extending kindness without judgment. Something broke open inside her chest, a frozen place she had thought long dead. "Okay," she whispered. "Just for tonight." But one night became several. Simon offered Evelyn the guest room and asked nothing in return except that she join them for meals. Nora attached herself to Evelyn immediately, showing her every toy, every book, every corner of their home. Evelyn learned that Simon was a teacher, that his wife had died in a car accident, and that grief had made their house feel impossibly large and quiet. She learned that Nora had nightmares, and that her presence seemed to comfort the little girl. In turn, Evelyn shared her own story, the job loss, the medical bills from her mother's final illness. the cascade of circumstances that had left her homeless. She had never been an addict, never been in trouble. She had simply been unlucky and too proud to ask for help until it was too late. Simon listened without judgment. "Life can break any of us," he said. "What matters is whether someone's there to help us stand again." Over the following weeks, Evelyn began to heal. Simon helped her find work at a local library. Nora insisted that Evelyn tuck her in each night, their bedtime ritual becoming sacred to both of them. One evening, Evelyn found Simon in the living room, looking at photos of his late wife. "She would have liked you," he said. "Caroline always said kindness recognizes kindness." Evelyn sat beside him. "Nora offered me her cookies that night, but she gave me so much more. She gave me a reason to believe in goodness again." Simon nodded. "She needed you too. Since you came, she started smiling again, really smiling." Nora appeared in her nightgown, her grey cap still on her head. She wore it constantly now, like armor against the world. "Are you staying forever?" she asked Evelyn directly. Evelyn looked at Simon, who nodded slightly. "If you'll have me," Evelyn said. "I'd like that very much." Nora climbed into her lap. "Good, because you're my mommy now. I told Santa, and he said it was okay." Evelyn held this precious child, this family that had found her in the snow. She thought about that winter night, how close she had come to giving up entirely, and how one small act of kindness had lit a candle in her darkness. Simon reached over, and the three of them sat together, a family formed not by blood, but by compassion and the simple human need to belong and be loved. Outside, snow fell gently, but inside, everything was warm. Sometimes angels come to us in our darkest moments. Sometimes they wear grey knitted caps and carry cookies, and sometimes, when we are brave enough to accept their gifts, they save us not just from the cold outside, but from the cold within.